Alright guys, welcome back. It is February the 2nd, Saturday. It's about 1 o'clock. A little bit of a late start today. My boy had a basketball game this morning, so we're just now getting out here to the mill. But a real quick weather report. 58's the high for today. Tomorrow and Monday is supposed to be almost 70, I think. And yesterday we had the box blade going. It was 25 degrees and snowing. It's really odd weather. Odd. But we'll take it. I love this nice weather, especially now that we're in this building. You know, I've been waiting for a long time to finally have something like this to saw inside of, and it is nice, and I'm really grateful for it. Really nice. The only trouble I have videoing in here is the lights. At nighttime and in the evening, you know, the LED lights in here do great. But during the daytime, you know, we're backlit over here where the opening is, and behind the camera also, a lot of sunlight coming in that way. And it takes a little time to get these cameras set up just right for doing these different angles in here on these logs while we're sawing them. But we'll get there, I'll figure out something. So anyways, what we got lined up here today is a very nasty log. This log looks terrible. And I am not sure how long this piece of timber has been on the ground. At least 5 years, maybe longer. You know, it could be longer than that. But I'm saying at least 5 years on the ground. The bark is completely gone. It feels solid when you knock on it. When you take a knife and check the end grain to see if it's punchy or not, it's still solid. But man, it looks horrible. And I'm not sure how this is going to play out here when we start opening this up. It may look terrible. May have to throw something else on here to get a decent video with. But I usually have pretty good luck with these logs. We'll see what happens. Let me bring the camera in and show you guys what we're going to be sawing today. Well, we got the most important part of the log right here, and this is the crotch, and it will be facing the sawmill operator side. And our width on the crotch is 24 inches. Pretty good. So there should be some crotch figure in here. Now, whether or not it's rotted away yet, I'm not sure. Who knows? But it feels good and solid, man. This feels like a really good log. It just looks terrible. Most people will think this is firewood, or even worse, just throw it in a burn pile because it looks so terrible. But there should be some good stuff down in here. All right, guys, here's the other end of it. And the diameter down here is around 16 inches. And the length of this log is 8.5 feet. And if you're wondering why this looks freshly cut, well, it is. And the reason being, when I dug this out of the pile, I cut the end off and made it an 8.5 footer. It was a 10 footer, I believe. And I was really just wanting to make sure it was solid. You know, I'm not going to drag the log all the way up here from the log yard if it's going to be rotten. So before I even put it on the mill, I want to make sure and something that looks this terrible is going to be solid on the ends. But as you can tell, it's pretty solid. A decent sap line going around, about 1.5 inches on the sap line. Here I am with this measuring tape again, flicking it back and forth. But there's a little bit of punky wood right here at the bottom, and this sap wood may all be punky, I guess, when we open it up. We'll see, but the heartwood should be fine. And I've already anchor sealed this also the other day when I cut it off. But we should get some nice slabs out of this. One last thing before we get started, I'm still using that number 4 degree double hard Wood-Mizer blade. I should be able to get one more log out of that before I change it. And I got some 7 degree blades I've been sharpening. They're ready to go. So if this one goes dull on us today, we'll switch it out. Also, I'll be cutting these into 9/4 slabs. I may have said 5/4 a minute ago. If not, just disregard that. It's 9/4, which is 2¼ inches thick. And I got some new subscribers that asked the other day, 2 or 3 comments, said, why are you cutting them so thick for? Well, the reason being, that's what the market calls for, man. This live edge stuff is still hot. That's all people still want around here when building these tables. And there's a lot of money in that. You get more money per board foot for live edge slabs or any kind of thick lumber, don't have to be live edge, than some thinner boards. In my area, a 1-inch walnut board will bring between $6 and $7 a board foot. $8 or $9 if it's wider than 20 inches. But the thicker stuff, which is the 8/4, 9/4, 12/4, you know, you're looking at $12 to $15 a board foot. And retail, and a lot of woodworking stores around here, well, I say around here within like a 100-mile radius, you know, they're charging up to $25 a board foot for some of that stuff. So that's what the market's calling for, and that's why I'm sawing them that thick. Alright now guys, that went pretty good. I had to flip it up on its side and cut off one of the crotches, or the limbs rather. It was too wide for the sawmill. That's very frustrating. I wish I had a sawmill that was like a LT40 wide or something like that would get these wider logs. I hate cutting off the ends of those so they'll fit through the cut throat. Maybe one day. Alright guys, slab number one, and this was the top of the outside of the tree. And judging by what I could see when I sawed into it after I took the first slab off, I think there's going to be some crotch figure in here, but it's going to be more relevant underneath it. Look at that. Look at that. My goodness. I'll tell you something else this is telling me right here. I need to change my blade. Oh, that took me way too long to saw up this slab. Put a fresh blade on there before we start back. But man, that is some fantastic figure right there. A little hole right there, nothing major. And this is some nice stuff now. I would have never thought that would be hiding in there. I was just hoping we got solid wood out of it. But there's some really nice color right here. And I don't think it's going to show up unless we put water on it. So let's throw some water on this outside, because it's worth looking at, although the inside's going to be even better, I think. Alright now guys, that's hard to beat right there. Nice solid crotch right in here. No rot, everything's nice and solid on the ends. Now, a little bit of a hole right there, spoke too soon. But it's no big deal, it only goes in about 1 inch. Famous last words on that one. But everything's looking good guys. This should be a fantastic log here to slab up today. And just that figure right there is just really nice, man. That's really dark in there as well. And we'll flip this over and see what the other side looks like. It's probably a little better than this side. Alright guys, here's the other side of that slab. There's not much dust on it, and you can see what's hiding underneath it. Look at that. Runs all the way down. Intact. Nice and solid. I did not think we was going to have that hiding down in there, man. That is nice right there. I thought we'd have some crotch figure, but not this nice. Fantastic. Let's throw some water on it. I'll tell you what we'll do at the end of this video. I had a lot of people ask me to do a comparison after this turns the chocolate color after it sets out and air dries. Put this slab aside and do 2 different camera shots showing it right now and then about an hour later. And look up here toward the top. I don't know if that's going to come through with the camera or not. Check that out right there. That is phenomenal. It's curly right here. Got some curly walnut going on where the crotch starts up here at the top. Golly, this is nice. Fantastic. You know, something I love the color this turns when it turns to its natural color. But I tell you, sometimes I wish it'd stay just like this. And this is one of those times. Fantastic.
No matter the distance and how far I run, we listen when the day is done. Hey, now the truth